You're listening to the Vocabit Podcast, where I help students improve their vocabulary for the SAT, ACT, and life itself using my unique and research-backed story-based method. On this podcast, I'm sharing the best tips and tricks for a more enriched vocabulary and pain-free test day. Hello, and welcome to episode number 17 of the Vocabit Podcast. I'm Erica Abbott, a former English and history teacher, the author of the young adult novel Ahead of Her Time, and the founder of the eponymously named vocabulary company, Vocabit. So we are on the penultimate, the second to the last episode of our 5-part mini-series called 5 Ways to Instantly Sound Smarter. And one thing I was thinking as I was writing this episode is that one of the major risks in talking so much about grammar is that people can think you sound a little judgy. And I just want to reassure you that that is not where I'm coming from at all. I just want to help you present the best version of yourself. Back when I was teaching English, I used to describe grammar like this. Imagine that instead of writing, or in this case talking, you are a painter. And you are a magnificent painter. But for anyone to realize that, they have to obviously see your work. Now, the presentation of the painting doesn't change the painting itself, whether it's in a super fancy Manhattan art gallery or in your closet next to smelly socks. The painting stays the same. But it does change your perception of the painting's value, doesn't it? If you present that painting in a Manhattan art gallery, the assumption is going to be that it's much more valuable than if it's at the bottom of your closet. And the same is true for your ideas. In speaking and writing, your ideas are what they are, but the grammar is how they're presented. If you present your ideas with strong, proper grammar, that's like presenting them in a fancy Manhattan art gallery. It provides this added perception of value. And I'm sure your ideas are incredible, but presenting them well always helps. Or you can hide your ideas at the bottom of your closet and force people to pick through your smelly socks in order to find them. And even if you've got a great painting down there, a great idea, people are probably going to value your idea less if that is how it's presented, if it's presented behind a bunch of poor grammar that they have to wade through. Grammar isn't about being judgmental or holier than thou. It's about giving your ideas the best possible chance at success, whether it's in a college interview or really anywhere else. And I give you this little spiel because today's grammatical fix is probably the least fun out of the 5. And normally I'm a huge believer in painless background learning. I talk a lot about how if you encounter a new word 8 times, the research indicates that you're pretty likely just to pick it up without any traditional conscious studying. That's really the heart of the Vocabit method, actually. But that's for vocabulary. This is grammar. And because you have probably heard these mistakes thousands, if not tens of thousands of times, I have to provide a little bit more traditional teaching to break through the noise and show you what's up. So today's issue is improperly using pronouns at the beginning of sentences. It's people saying things like, me and him went to the store, or him and I love that movie. And I do. I have that reaction that I described a couple of episodes ago where I hear this and I feel like someone has torn open my back and is scratching my spine. I know that's such a weird description, but I honest to God feel like my neck is tingling when I read these things or hear these things. It's like you're trying to show me your beautiful painting, but I'm smelling your dirty socks at the same time. It is just so distracting. So the key to fixing this mistake is twofold. The first one is to always put the other person first. So it's never going to be me and him, me and her, anything like that. It's always going to be either, well, not always, but it's usually going to be he and I or she and I. The other person always goes first. And you can just think about it as like you're being polite, right? You're going to put the other person first. You're going to hold open the door for them, grammatically speaking. And then the next part is whether to use him or he or she or her. People kind of have some pronoun problems here. And the kind of easy rule of thumb is at the beginning of a sentence, it's basically always going to be he, she, or I. So he and I went to the store. She and I went to the store. He and I are picking up groceries, whatever it is. He, she, and I are basically always going to be at the beginning of a sentence. But if you want to double check yourself, if you like to have kind of that extra level of certainty, here is the way to do it. You take the other person out of the sentence and then see what it would be. So he and I went to the store, right? And you want to verify that it is he and I went to the store and you're not supposed to have a him or a me or something like that in there. So, okay, he and I went to the store. Take out the I. Is it he went to the store or him went to the store? He went to the store. So, okay, yeah, good. We can leave that he there. What about I? You're like, hey, maybe it should be me because people always say me and him. Like, shouldn't me be in here somewhere? So, okay, let's check it out. Take him out. Would it be me went to the store or I went to the store? I went to the store. So yeah, we had it right. He and I went to the store. In general, just remember that at the beginning of a sentence, it's going to be he, she, and I. And you can always double check it by taking the other person out of the sentence and seeing what it would be. That is the fourth way to instantly sound smarter. Please, please learn this one. It comes up all the time and it will instantly up the presentation of your ideas. I will be back on Thursday with the last way to instantly sound smarter, finishing up this little mini series. And it's actually kind of a trick one, actually. It's a grammatical rule, so to speak, that people talk about. They say it like it's a rule, but it's actually not accurate. It's something that people think is a rule, but actually isn't. It's a fun one. If you are loving Vocabit and you want to help me spread the word about it, I encourage you to sign up for the Vocabit Ambassador Program. For every person you refer who signs up for an annual or monthly membership, you can earn up to $40. You can learn more and apply at vocabit.com/ambassadors. It's a rolling application, so don't worry about it this second if you're in the middle of finals, but it's definitely something to think about if you want to fill out your resume a little bit over the summer or earn some extra cash. And if you're not already a Vocabit member yourself, I highly recommend joining. Not to give you the same spiel every week, but the membership has so many great vocabulary boosting resources, including a vault of videos I recorded on etymology and mindset, a free digital copy of my book, and all my other vocabulary boosting short stories, bi-weekly podcast accompaniments, and so much more, including access to the summer workshops, which I will be rolling out shortly. You can sign up at vocabit.com. That's VOC and then Abbott, like my last name, ABBETT. And yeah, I will see you guys on Tuesday.